Story flavor, not those who have employed your area or those who are صدق الله العظيم.
Thank you very much for that. The leading recitation of Al-Fatiha. May Allah show us the right path and bless us with His numerous blessings. Ladies and gentlemen, teachers, students, parents, and all your guests. Before we start, can I just say that in order to make sure that the ceremony flows smoothly and quietly, if anyone, we would expect everyone to be quiet and respectful throughout the ceremony. And in order to do that, if you need some time, like for example, the baby's crying, or you need some time to talk to them on the phone or something, we have an extra outside foyer that you could use. I'll just start with a brief summary, I guess. What's happening on the 29th of November 1807, that is about 200 years ago. That was the day that the very first Muslim who stepped his foot on Tasmanian land, and his name is Jacob Sultan. Most of the early Muslims who traveled to Tasmania originally came from an area of what we call, from an island called Norfolk Island. It's a very small island which is situated in the Pacific Island, somewhere in the middle of Australia and New Zealand. Now, they moved to Tasmania, and most of them work as farmers. And since then, very few Muslims that settled over the periods of hundreds of years. Well, due to these very small numbers of Muslims that actually first settled down in a very such long period of time, they were unable to form a strong Islamic community. So, generations after generation, the identity, Muslim identity, sort of lost within the years, and they have to adapt themselves to the local cultures and assimilate into their Western cultures. So as a result, their children, the coming generations, don't really know or do not really understand about Islam. And the Islamic identity sort of lost within time as well. So, however, flash forward a few hundred years after that, which is about in the late 1960s, there are a lot of Muslim immigrants and refugees that start to come over to Tasmania. They start to settle down here and create a small community, and then this is further increased with the influx of numbers of students coming, Muslim students from Asian countries to complete their education here at the University of Tasmania. Since then, more and more Muslims are coming to Tasmania, and alhamdulillah, as of this point, we have hundreds, and I believe it's already more than 1,000 Muslims all over Tasmania. We have Muslim professionals who are working home that comes from a local or migrants coming from all over around the world. We have a purposely built mosque which serves an Islamic center, the place of worship, and also a place for the sparsely populated Muslims to meet and greet one another. Having aware that more and more children are actually growing up in these Western cultures in Tasmania, we realize that, unlike most of us, the adults or the teachers who grew up back in other countries where Muslims are dominating our majority, and Islam is very much evident in that country, our children here appears to lack proper Islamic education. They don't quite really know how to read Quran. They don't know how to perform the Salah. They don't really know what exactly is the five pillars of Islam. They don't really know what to eat and what cannot, what we can't eat. And a lot of other things, basic things in Islam. So, in that view, in 2008, under the guidance of Imam Sabri, a small group of students started to voluntarily teach a few small children on how to read Quran in Madressa on Sunday morning. Since then, the number of students has grown exponentially, forcing them to recruit more and more students to teach these growing numbers of students that are coming over our schools, hybrid, lacking of Islamic education. So, after about 280 years since the first Muslim set foot in Tasmania, we finally have what we call as the Hobart Madressa last year in 2010, which is a volunteer-based Islamic school that operates on a weekly basis. And this year, not only that we teach them how to read Quran, we teach them about the basic foundation of Islam, about Salat, Zakat, and all the other things, important things in Islam. But we also have a lot of fun moments throughout the years. And that includes the games and all the other occasions, including the meet and greet day when we meet up with the parents and the teachers, the sports day, the amazing outdoor fun that we had this year, and also the Eid celebration. And today, Alhamdulillah, we will see about 46 students who will be graduating from 4 different classes in this year of 2011. Next, we are going to see the small kids from the class 0, class 0 and class 1 to present their songs entitled I'm a Muslim. So, can we just give a big round of applause to all these small kids that will